Now, from the Octavian server, the award-winning DC News, with Hispanic Crow, Stanley Weather, and Timmy Sports. We bring them to you now, live. Good afternoon, my name is Hispanic Crow, the lead reporter for DC News. As you saw with our last showing, the Fire Nation decided to pull a prank on the Night Sorcerers and flood their guild with bamboo, leading to the death of their horse. Well, the Night Sorcerers decided to create something positive out of this, and used the copious amounts of bamboo as the primary fuel source for their cloud. Here we have footage of the construction of the cloud, which took quite a bit of time. This footage contains the construction of one of the layers, but the cloud is actually made up of 2 layers. We will show you the finished product after this initial clip. can see, the cloud appears to have the unintended side effect of being a portal to another world, as gas are beginning to spill out of it. The ramifications of this have not yet been fully explored, but we will be sure to do a further investigation next time. Disbanded Crow's statistics have jumped to 102,524 black stained glass placed, with both the first and now this second cloud. Getting back to the war news, since our last broadcast, the herbalists have decided to escalate things a little bit further by creating a bunch of flapping noise machine ducks, along with a few regular ducks, over the Stormmaster's grounds. Before Kavagram could get too far with that prank, however, Mr. Steelio-Kills logged into the server and discovered the prank. Kavagram was able to flee the scene fairly quickly, leaving behind a disgruntled Steel. In response to this, the Stormmasters vowed to create a dedicated area where the sacrificing of ducks could commence, but we have not yet seen the creation of these sacrificial grounds. The Night Sorcerers, in an active friendship, have created an embassy on their land for all of the other guilds. This makes them the first to do so, and hopefully will involve total inclusivity and love amongst their fellow wizards. Perhaps related to this, or perhaps not, shortly afterwards, Mr. Steelio-Kills inquired to Kavagram about the possibility of acquiring their ability to use bone meal. Kavagram advised that this would not be possible while they were at war, which actually started the talks towards peace. A mutual surrender was discussed, but within moments of this peace talk occurring, Steel and Jarboys from the Stormmasters launched a surprise attack on the unsuspecting Archmage of the Herbalists. This reporter was also involved, and I am happy to report that I am relatively unharmed. one casualty during this battle, Jarboy's exploded when he accidentally attempted to fly using one of the rockets that was meant for ammunition. Shortly after their defeat in this battle, the Storm Masters decided to retaliate by capturing and kidnapping one of their ducks and the mule that Kavagram uses the most. As of this broadcast, the Herbalists are unsure as to where their citizens could be, with the only thing to go off on being this photo provided by the Storm Masters. As you can see, this could realistically be anywhere underground, leaving the act of finding them almost impossible. Kavagram spent quite a while searching through all of the nearby caves in an attempt to locate them, but was unsuccessful. Mr. Celio Kills implied that the only way to get them back was via surrender. The Storm Masters then provided a proposal for peace, which was read and considered by the Archmage of the Herbalists. It appears that in order to accomplish peace, the Herbalists must make a giant trident monument. The Herbalists responded by saying that this could be done, potentially, if the Storm Masters agreed to make an embassy for them at their castle. During these potential peace talks, this reporter was made aware of a potential secret hideout located underneath the pond nearby the Storm Master's castle. So, under the guise of invisibility, I bravely undertook a secret mission to see what I could find. Unfortunately, Mr. Celio Kills was also in the secret hideout, and must have been on high alert because he became aware of my presence extremely quickly. I was able to capture their plans for expansion, but was unfortunately unable to locate any duck or mule before narrowly escaping with my life. We seem to be approaching a pattern here, where the violent Storm Masters will begin a peace talk and then launch an assault directly afterwards. Because shortly after sending their proposal for peace, a camp was discovered just outside the walls of the Herbalist village, clearly assembling for attack. A small response army was erected, composing of Herbabot bee robots and herbalist and night sorcerer warriors alike. At this point, we have not yet seen the result of their battle. that is where we are at so far. Thank you for taking the time to get these facts. Before we move on to weather and sports, let's hear a word from our sponsor. Are you constantly confused as to whose base is whose on the Octavian server? Hello? You're back? Are you going to tell me about the wiki again? What? No. How dare you assume what I'm about to talk about? How dare you assume what I'm about to say? No. I'm talking about the Octavian server YouTube channel. Aside from hosting Kavagram's amazing herbalist series, it also contains a playlist with multiple videos showing off bases. So if you're ever wondering what Port City looks like, for example, you can check it out. Isn't that great? Please. Where's my family? Exactly. Woohoo! Well, would you look at that, folks? We got our first death. Congratulations on being the first human casualty, Jar Boys. Truly, you will be celebrated. Admittedly, it is definitely a little disappointing that Jar Boys died from an accident during a battle, rather than actually feeling cold, hard metal enter his body, guided by the warmth of a warring friend. But you know, I'm sure we'll get there someday. Now, there have been talks about potential peace popping up here and there, but let me be the first to say that I support the Storm Masters. A lot of their methods might be considered rude by most people, but I find their overly aggressive ways to be refreshing. I mean, twice now they've talked about peace, and then immediately attacked. Truly beautiful. That is surely the way to get some sweet, sweet death involved. I mean, it seems like their tactic might have backfired since they were actually the ones to suffer the first death, but hey, accidents happen in the heat and passion of battle. So to you, Storm Masters, I salute you. And that's really all I had to say, so back to you, Crow. Thank you, thank you. Alright, well, thank you very much for tuning in to this second ever broadcast of DC News. I hope you found it informative. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more information. Goodbye.